Previously. There is another way to get inside the temple without a human sacrifice. Come to the cantina tomorrow, then I'll tell you everything.
Madre Cosecha cursed me and Dan Talion and every other soul who died in the jungle since that day.
It's safe to say that Salvatorata as a whole would be a very different place today if not for her.
Is that a good or a bad thing?
No one can leave, and most ghosts have gone insane.
The nightmare just continues. Forever.
If what's keeping the ghosts here really is a curse, it should have been broken the moment the caster died.
Salva la selva, Madre Luna. Amén. Dios te salve Madre Luna, llena eres de gracia, la magia es contigo.
It's over, Cosecha. We can't do this anymore, and we won't let you continue.
Bendita tú eres entre todas las brujas, y bendito es el fruto de tu vientre.
Praying won't save you now. Are you even listening to us?
Santa Madre Luna, Madre de las brujas, ruega por nosotros, pecadores, ahora y en la hora de nuestra muerte. Amén.
Leviathan complained about there being no toilet in the portable tent, so he had to go outside and relieve himself in a bush. That was when Bitch appeared.
Yes, Bitch is here. Back at the holiday home like nothing happened. I don't even remember coming back here. The past 24 hours weren't just an overly long dream of mine though, right?
Good morning, or should I say, good afternoon. Anyway, I'm writing a new novel based on our adventures in the jungle. I'm currently at the scene in which Lev gets up to go outside. The characters' names will be changed later.
Not a dream then. That actually happened.
I'd like to include your thoughts as well. So, what do you think?
I think it's plagiarism. I had that idea first, and called it Adventures of a Pack Mule. But now I wonder whether or not to include the part about me being the reincarnated High Witch of Time Manipulation, and mother of a ghost who is trapped in the jungle because of some unidentified curse that also blew his friend's head off. Might be too complicated for the dumbest assumable reader.
He said you were going to watch him pee and he told you to turn around. But there must be a reason why you even followed him to that bush.
Indeed. Where's Mr. Tiny Bladder now? Where's anybody?
In case you're looking for the others, they're not here. Mum and Lev are meeting with Januária to discuss our planned raid on the temple, and Willie is with Elise, I think. At least that's what she told me while putting on a lot of makeup again. Personally, I think she might be going on a date with Alvaro, you know, that boy who threw himself at her yesterday.
That would be a little weird, considering the not-so-obvious age difference. But the meeting with Januária was supposed to take place at the cantina, right? Then that's where I'm going. I still don't trust that woman.
Hey, wait. You haven't even given me your opinion on the prologue yet. Oh. Hi Loki. Yeah, sorry you couldn't reach us, we were busy. But don't worry, everything is okay.
Your granddaughter doesn't look so good. Is she alright?
First of all, I'm her mother, not her grandmother, and secondly, she's just feeling a little sick. It will pass.
Since when has she been feeling sick?
Since last night, I think. She left the tent to get some fresh air.
She did what? I told you to stay inside.
But not why. When we got up this morning, the sacred candles we had placed in front of the tent were all burnt out.
Sacred candles? Good. That explains how you're still alive. But their attempts to get inside your protective bubble must have been strong enough to make the candles burn down faster.
Whose attempts? You know what, never mind. Just tell us how to enter that temple without a human sacrifice, like you promised you would. That's the only reason we're meeting today.
Are you sure you still want to return to the jungle after everything you've seen?
We haven't really seen that much.
And you? How can you still support her after she tried to sacrifice you?
It was a bluff. We knew you'd come to his aid. Leviathan has become like a son to me and I'd never let anything happen to him.
In that case, if I can't convince you not to go, you should go alone, without him or any of your other children.
Is that what you want, Leviathan?
Well, I'd be lying if I said that I desperately want to go back to that place. And Tiamo and Wilbica weren't really keen on it from the get-go.
Hear that, Octobrette, huh? Nothing will happen to your new merman friend, because I'll be going alone. So tell me what I need to know.
The cantina is busier than I thought it would be. Let's go somewhere else.
Fine, but if you move the goalpost one more time, I'll shove it up your perfectly round ass.
I'm sorry I wasn't able to procure any bone dust for you, but we couldn't get past the temple's security system, so to speak.
That's okay. It's good you're back. Considering all the horror stories about that place, I was getting worried.
But it's not over yet. I just went with Januária to learn how to get past the security system without killing someone.
Well, at least you're much better off with Januária by your side. Anyway, my next science lesson is about to begin. After black holes and the inevitable end of the universe, today's topic is false vacuum decay.
Fucking hell, Elise.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds terrifying. It surprises me that the kids keep coming back for more of those grisly topics. How do their parents feel about that?
The laws of nature don't care about anybody's feelings. Will you be joining us, Wilbica?
No thanks. I can't worry about false vacuum today, there's too much else going on.
It's not the false vacuum you should be worried about, but the bubbles of true vacuum that could be spreading across the cosmos as we speak. But if it's any consolation, those bubbles spread at the speed of light, so if one was headed your way, your life would be over before you could even look at it. So in a way, there's no point in worrying, there isn't even time. Good day.
Perhaps it's just me, but I don't find that thought consoling at all.
Lord of the Underworld. I was just about to feel better, now I feel sick again.
What's the matter? Having boy trouble?
Definitely not. I don't even know what that kid wants from me.
I find it quite obvious.
I talked to him once, and I wasn't even particularly nice.
Maybe Alvaro likes bad girls, and being a little nicer to him couldn't hurt. After all, his mother is currently teaching yours how to survive the temple.
Yeah, I hope they're making progress, so we can get a relic from that fucking temple and go back home before I end up in prison because some miner fell in love with me.
Nice living room, but I'm seeing nothing new here. Care to show me your selection of Salvadoradian skinwalker relics as well? That would be a lot more interesting.
I bet it would. But why don't you finish your avocado leaf tea first?
Your tea tastes boring though. Like it literally makes me sleepy.
That's good. Feel free to rest a little on the sofa. Your last night in the jungle can't have been particularly comfortable.
Actually, it was. More comfortable than one might think. Our tent is bigger on the inside.
Believe it or not, this is for your own good.
Enough writing for today. If my jungle story is supposed to fill an entire book, I'm going to need more inspiration.
Bad dog. How could you do that?
Here we go.
The statue was set up in honor of Madre Cosecha, the founder of this place. Is this your way of paying your respect to her?
Oh, I paid her all the respect she deserves.
What happened here?
Does this dog belong to you? He peed on the statue of Madre Cosecha.
And now you're misgendering me as well. So much for respect.
Bitch is a she.
Good, at least her name suits her. She's a very naughty dog.
Look who's talking. Shouldn't you be at school right now?
Or on a date with your sister, as you thought earlier today.
It's Sunday. Senora Dominguez's science classes aren't really school, and she only ever talks about things that could destroy the universe. I've had enough of that.
Well, I can tell you one thing that definitely won't destroy the universe. A dog marking her territory. So how about you leave bitch alone?
I'm not marking my territory. I want everyone to know that Madre Cosecha is a bitch. No offense to myself.
I won't allow her to literally shit on our culture. My corazon would never do that. And if my mother was here now, she wouldn't let it slide.
She's not here. I thought she was supposed to meet with my mother at the cantina.
So let me get this straight. We think the universe exists in a true vacuum, a state with the least amount of energy possible. But a state with even less energy could exist, and then that would be the true vacuum, making ours a false vacuum. And once the false vacuum we live in starts decaying to become more like the true vacuum, we all die.
More or less, but I'm sure Elise could explain it a lot better. Why didn't you just join her class if you're so interested in that?
Because I don't want to get traumatized. With so many things out there that could wipe out the entire world as we know it, how come anything still exists at all?
That's the point where even scientists start believing in God. Or mortals in magic. You might as well ask how the entire universe just formed from nothing, or why the Big Bang didn't create equal amounts of matter and antimatter.
What is antimatter again?
Another thing that could wipe out the entire world as we know it just by touching it.
Oh, give me a break.
Hello children. I hope you enjoyed our stay in Selvadorada, but it's time to go home, so get packing.
What? No more trips to the temple then? What about helping bitch with her werewolf problem? Not even you change your mind this quickly.
There's always a first time. Januária pointed out that there are other, less dangerous ways to help our familiar.
Yes, like letting Vero do it. We told you that from the beginning.
Maybe, but I wasn't convinced until now. Januária is a very wise woman, and I should have listened to her right away.
What a strange thing to hear from your mouth. And since when do you call her by her actual name, twice in a row even?
That is strange indeed. Whatever she told you, it must have caused your respect for her to skyrocket.
That's not what happened here.
Bitch.
What's wrong now? First she pees on the statue, now this. Guys, get your rabid dog under control, or get out.
Don't worry, she's probably just hungry. The cantina doesn't offer many food options for dogs, and I think Corazon ate the last of it. We should take bitch home and feed her there.
Mum, how do you know about Corazon?
It's the boy's dog, isn't it? That little chihuahua over there.
Yes, but how do you know its name?
Someone must have mentioned it at some point. Anyway, why is that important right now? I said we're going home, so let's get on with it already, and no more arguments.
What's going on?
I won't miss this place. Too much has happened here.
Are you sure? 2 days ago you were still firmly determined to buy this house. And just yesterday you said Tiamo and I should get married in the Alam temple.
I've changed my mind.
You do that a lot lately.
And I've had enough of it. Freeze.
Whoa. That escalated quickly.
I'd say we took our sweet time. I was about to hypnotize her.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to use magic in front of all the nosy guests at the cantina.
What are you talking about? Do you think there's something wrong with your mother?
Maybe, maybe not, but this is not our mother. I could tell the moment she started acting so weird.
And the evil detecting dog familiar was growling at her. Don't forget to mention that in your novel Tiamo. Wait, what is that?
This is not Aya. But who is it then?
Let's think about this for a second. She couldn't wait to get out of here. Who do we know that wanted us gone from the moment we set foot in this country, and who might wield the kind of Selvadoradian shape-shifting magic allowing people to take on the appearance of others?
If you're talking about Januária, I believe she was trying to protect us. She did come to my rescue when we made it seem like you were going to sacrifice me.
And then she let us spend a night in the jungle, surrounded by who knows what kind of invisible threat, instead of telling us that we could have entered the temple without sacrifice by just sending a ghost inside to deactivate the bloody barrier.
I could have done that via astral projection. Is it really that simple?
According to Vero, yes. That's how she and her friends got in 20 years ago. Loki told me about it on the phone an hour ago, before warning me a dozen times not to use that knowledge to go in ourselves.
Because he knows the temple is way more dangerous than the jungle, and so does Januária. I stick to what I said, she just wanted to protect us. And if this is really her wearing Aya's face and clothes, it must be for the same purpose.
Truth be told, I'm at a point where I'm willing to take her advice and leave. That jungle can go fuck itself.
Still feeling sick?
A little. And I don't know why.
Then stay here and watch over whoever this is. If she thaws, freeze her again. Lev and I will go looking for our real mother.
Lord Henford, if we keep meeting like this, I might as well introduce you to my family.
Forgive me, I couldn't come all the way to your house, so I had to summon you to me. This is the farthest I can be away from the heart of the jungle, as long as the curse is still active.
Well, I'm glad it's you. The last time someone lured me out of the house by morsing my name with light signals, I got kidnapped by my family's evil patriarch. But I can't ignore the call when I think my family might be in danger. It's a vicious cycle.
Your family is indeed in danger, but not the one you're living with now. It's your son, Dan Talion. I'm afraid he's succumbing to the jungle's curse.
What? Why?
Last night, when he discovered that he couldn't move on even after reuniting his mother's body and soul, he lost all hope. And now he's losing his mind too, becoming more and more like the other hostile ghosts in the area, and I don't know how to stop it.
But
I know you have no memories of your past life, and don't really consider yourself his mother. But that's not what this is about. I just don't know who else to turn to. If there's anything you or your new family can do to break the curse and end this madness, I'm begging you, please help us.
And that's it for false vacuum decay. Come back tomorrow to learn about the horrors of gamma radiation, and how a single gamma ray burst from thousands of light years away could spell the end for humanity.
Your classes are not meant to be child-friendly, are they?
Neither is the universe. In fact, it isn't particularly human-friendly in general. Why are you asking? Didn't we discuss this earlier today?
Perhaps you did with Nova the November child, but not with me.
Nova the... Wait. Ayat, is that you?
What gave it away? Certainly not my eyes, only one of which has more or less the right color.
Did Januária use a Salvadoranian skinwalker relic to switch your appearances?
Looks like it, but only after sedating me with that infamous avocado leaf tea that wasn't even good. I knew I shouldn't have trusted that tourist-hating cow. Could you turn back time and tell my earlier version not to be so stupid?
So it's true then. The Aya at the holiday home is not the real one.
Of course not. Willie and I know our mother, and it's not the first time this has happened in our family. Remember when you and Grande switched bodies and broke our skinwalker relic in the process?
How could I not? Everyone in this family keeps reminding me.
So my doppelganger is with you now? Perfect. Time to bring order into this chaos.
Ah, much better. Being young again is great and all, but not when you no longer look like yourself. And now, I would like to offer you my gratitude for this experience, Decembertris.
Wait. I know Januária, she meant no harm. You don't have to do this.
Do what exactly? I won't kill her, if that's what you're worried about. But surely she won't mind being turned into a garden gnome for a while, given how much she enjoys turning other people against their will.
It was just another attempt to stop you from putting your lives at risk again. If you died in that jungle, that wouldn't even be the worst part. It's not the same as dying anywhere else.
She's right, you know. Didn't think I was ever going to say this, but at least she's telling the truth for once.
Okay, that's weird. How about we start at the very beginning?
All right, since you're not going to let me go otherwise. It began with Madre Cosecha,
the revered founder of Puerto Yamante, and your ancestor?
She was also the head of a monastery that no longer exists, and a very strict person with a clear vision for the future of Salvadorada. One of her self-imposed duties was to protect and preserve the legacy of the Olmiskans, and that's why she cursed the jungle. The souls of people who die there are trapped forever, unable to move on. It was her idea of just punishment for trying to steal the treasures of the ancients. Maybe now you understand why I didn't want the same thing to happen to you.
You know, if you had just told us that sooner instead of annoying us with your shape-shifting shenanigans.
Then what? Would that have convinced you not to go? Or would it have presented you with an even bigger and more attractive challenge?
Fair point, Mum.
Touché. But I have no more intention of pushing my luck now.
Besides, I was ashamed. As Luisa said, I'm a descendant of Madre Cosecha, and a devastating curse like that is not something you want your family to be known for. Especially because everyone here hails her as the national hero who gave them their homes. It's a family secret, so to speak.
How come no one else knows? Didn't any of her temporaries have children?
The only other people who knew the truth back then were the nuns in her monastery, and their knowledge died with them.
Just like the curse should have died with the caster. Isn't that how it usually works? How can this particular curse still be there without Madre Cosecha?
My words exactly. Well, thoughts. You know what I mean.
To understand this, you must know that she was extremely knowledgeable about several different branches of magic. Few people are aware of her distant relation to one of the 13 witches that founded the magic realm. She and the High Witch of Curses had a common ancestor. Her husband, who died before she became a nun, was a skilled shapeshifter, and she had a natural talent for creation magic as well.
Creation, a very rare power these days.
And a double-edged sword. You know, people with that power can not only create stuff out of nowhere, they can also do the reverse, take things out of existence, reduce them to nothing. That process is called,
let me guess, annihilation. Like when matter touches antimatter.
And we're back to cosmic doomsday scenarios again.
I don't know if that's how it works, but the effect is the same, and Madre Cosecha used this power a lot. Anyone standing in her way had a habit of disappearing, or just parts of them.
What do you mean?
When she wanted someone gone, she usually killed them by removing their head. That way, instead of looking for a missing person, others would know they were dead, and their death could be passed off as a wild animal attack or some kind of freak accident.
That's horrible.
But it explains Lord Henford.
And her nuns were okay with that. Not a single one of them ever had a bad conscience. Or did their heads blow up before they could say anything?
They did try to stop their mother's superior, but to no avail. You asked how the curse can still persist despite the caster being dead. Well, that's the thing. She's not dead. Not really. Shortly before her human body perished, she used a combination of all the branches of magic she had mastered to transfer her soul into her image at the marketplace.
Her soul is in that statue? The same one you prayed to this morning?
I wasn't praying, at least not in the way you think. I was trying to placate her, something I've been doing for decades now, like my parents before me, and their parents before them, and so on.
Looks like you weren't particularly successful at it. Just blow up the fucking statue. If that thing is anything like Azrael's dolls, destroying it should automatically kill anyone bound to it.
But Madre Cosecha isn't bound to the statue like a living person would be to Azrael's doll. Her soul is inside it. That's not the same thing.
No, actually, that makes it even easier.
If it was really that easy, someone would have destroyed the statue by now. Many have tried, but it seems to be protected by the magic Madre Cosecha used to transfer her soul into it in the first place. If we could use the same kind of magic against it, that might work.
Sounds like you know how.
I have an idea, but it requires ingredients that are impossible to come by, so...
So what? You're not even going to try? Fine, not my problem. But if some old curse was plaguing my home, I wouldn't just accept it as inevitable. If I had thought that way 30 years ago, my house in Forgotten Hollow would still be haunted.
Unfortunately, some things can't be changed. Sometimes the best we can hope for is that they don't get even worse. That's why I'm trying to placate Madre Cosecha. And unless you have a better idea, I won't allow you to judge my actions.
We're not. It's your inaction that we're judging.
Well, here is an idea. Tell us what those unobtainable ingredients are, and we'll figure something out.
I bet we will. There has to be a way, for all those poor ghosts trapped in the jungle, for Lord Henford, and for my son.